What if I told you that the home you're living in right now is lying to you? Not about its foundation or its walls, but about what a home could actually be. Because somewhere between the cookie-cutter suburbs and the million-dollar custom builds, there's a revolution happening in steel and space. And it's called the Modular Family Hub Barndominium. And it's about to change everything you thought you knew about where we live, how we connect, and why we've been doing it wrong this entire time. Close your eyes for a second. Forget everything you know about home design. Forget the rigid floor plans, the walls that trap sound and separate souls, the rooms that serve one purpose and one purpose only. Now imagine walking into a space so fluid, so adaptive, that it breathes with your family's rhythm. That's not a dream. That's the Modular Family Hub Barndominium, and it's not just a structure. It's a philosophy wrapped in steel beams and possibility. The barndominium itself, that beautiful marriage of barn and condominium, has been turning heads for years now. Those soaring ceilings, the industrial chic aesthetic, the promise of affordable square footage that doesn't sacrifice style. But here's where it gets interesting, where the story takes a turn that even the architects didn't see coming. Someone looked at that open concept space and asked a dangerous question. What if we stopped designing homes around rooms and started designing them around people? Did you know that 70% of homeowners feel their space doesn't reflect their style? Don't be part of that statistic. Subscribe and start designing a home that truly feels yours. The Modular Family Hub concept doesn't just use space differently. It thinks about space differently. Picture this, a central living core, the heart of your barndominium, pulsing with life and light. This is where the magic happens, where breakfast chaos meets homework help meets late-night conversations that solve nothing and everything at once. But radiating out from that core, like spokes on a wheel or petals on a flower, are modules. Not rooms. Modules. And that distinction is everything, because a room is fixed. A room has a purpose stamped on it like a brand. This is the dining room. This is the office. This is where we pretend to be formal when guests arrive. But a module? A module is potential energy waiting to be released. Today it's your teenager's sanctuary, walls that slide or partition off when privacy matters most. Tomorrow, when they're off chasing their own dreams, those same walls reconfigure, and suddenly you've got the art studio you always whispered about at 2 a.m. but never had the courage to create. And here's where the storytelling gets real, where we dig into the why beneath the what. The traditional home forces families into a shape. You adapt to the house. You make do. You apologize for the mess, for the lack of space, for the room that never quite works the way you need it to. But the Modular Family Hub Barndominium, it flips that script entirely. The house adapts to you. Think about what that means. Really think about it. Your family isn't static. The couple that moves in isn't the same as the couple with toddlers destroying everything in their path, who aren't the same as the family navigating teenage angst and college applications, who aren't the same as the empty nesters rediscovering each other in the quiet. Most homes pretend that change isn't coming. They're designed for a single snapshot in time, and then you're supposed to just make it work for the next 3 decades. The Family Hub says something different. It says, I see you changing. I'm changing with you. That central hub, that gravitational core we talked about, it's not just about geography. It's about psychology. In traditional homes, families fragment. Dad's in the garage. Mom's in the home office. Kids are scattered to their bedrooms, doors closed, screens glowing. You're all under the same roof, but you might as well be in different zip codes. The Family Hub fights against that isolation. That open core space pulls people into orbit around each other. The kitchen flows into the living area, flows into the flex space, without walls screaming, keep out, or this isn't for you. You can be together without being on top of each other. You can be separate without being isolated. It's this dance between connection and independence that traditional architecture never quite figured out, but the Barndominium's wide-open bones make possible. And those modules extending from the hub? They're not afterthoughts. They're intentional zones of purpose. The work module with soundproofing and focus. The creative module flooded with natural light. The guest module that doesn't feel like an afterthought corner bedroom. The wellness module, because yes, having a dedicated space for yoga or meditation or just breathing isn't a luxury anymore. It's survival. Transform your home. Transform your life. Subscribe now, and let's create spaces you'll love forever. But let's get practical for a moment, because dreams need foundations. The beauty of the modular approach within a Barndominium framework is that you're starting with something inherently flexible. That post-frame construction, those clear-span interiors with minimal load-bearing walls, you're not fighting against the structure to create your vision. The structure is inviting your vision. Want to reconfigure a module? You're moving partitions, not demolishing walls and praying you didn't just mess with something structural. Need to expand because baby number 3 is on the way? You're adding a module, extending one of those spokes, and the Barndominium's design language makes that addition feel seamless, not tacked on like architectural afterthought. And the cost efficiency, we need to talk about that because it's not just about saving money. It's about what that saved money represents. It's possibility. It's the difference between building a fixed forever home that drains your resources and building an adaptive home that grows with your resources. The Barndominium already gives you more square footage per dollar than traditional construction. The modular design approach means you can phase your build, start with the essentials, and expand as life and budget allow. There's something about walking through a Modular Family Hub Barndominium that photographs can't capture. It's the feel of it. Those high ceilings in the central hub, they don't just look impressive, they change how you breathe. There's air up there, space for thoughts to expand, for stress to dissipate before it settles on your shoulders. The natural light pouring through strategically placed windows doesn't just illuminate, it transforms. Morning light hitting that central space differently than afternoon gold. Evening blue giving way to warm artificial glow. The modules create depth, layers of light and shadow that make the space feel alive, dynamic, never quite the same twice. And the acoustics. This is something people don't talk about enough. In a traditional open-concept home, sound bounces everywhere. The TV competes with the dishwasher, competes with the phone call, competes with your thoughts. But the modular design creates acoustic zones. The hub can be alive with sound while the modules offer retreat. It's designed for the reality that families need both gathering and solitude, and they need them simultaneously. Here's where we need to pause and recognize what we're really talking about. The Modular Family Hub Barndominium isn't just solving a design problem. It's addressing a fundamental tension in modern life. We've been sold this idea that we need to figure everything out, lock it down, commit to a path, and stick to it. Pick a career, pick a house layout, pick your forever self, and stop changing. But that's not how humans work. That's not how families work. We evolve. We discover new passions. Kids grow and move, and sometimes move back. Careers pivot. Hobbies become businesses. Businesses become hobbies. Health needs change. Mobility needs change. The way we want to connect with our family at 30 isn't the way we want to connect at 50. If the Modular Family Hub acknowledges all of that change and says, bring it on. Your home should be the most adaptive thing in your life, not the most rigid. It should be your partner in evolution, not an anchor holding you to who you used to be. And there's another layer here, one that emerges when you start thinking beyond your own walls. When your home is this adaptable, when those modules can shift and change purpose, something interesting happens to how you engage with community and extended family. That guest module. It could host aging parents for a season, giving them independence within connection. It could be a place where a friend going through a rough divorce finds stability for a few months. It could be where your adult child lands between chapters of their life without everyone feeling cramped and tense. The modular design doesn't just adapt to your nuclear family. It makes space for the broader human connections that used to be default, but now require architectural intention. Let's talk beauty for a moment, because function without form is just a warehouse. The Barndominium aesthetic, that industrial warmth, exposed beams meeting modern finishes, steel beams meeting warm wood, concrete meeting cozy textiles, it provides a backdrop that's simultaneously striking and neutral. It doesn't scream a particular style so loudly that it limits your personal expression. The modular additions, the way those spaces extend from the central hub, create visual interest from the outside too. This isn't a boring box. It's a composition, architectural elements playing off each other, height and depth creating a silhouette that evolves as you walk around it. And inside, each module can have its own personality while still feeling cohesive. The work module can be minimalist and focused while the creative module is colorful and chaotic, and neither contradicts the other because the design language ties them together. We can't ignore this. Flexibility is sustainability.